Hey guys, hope everybody's staying safe and isolated during this time. What I want to talk about today is my mobility routine. We know right now it's more important than ever to stay healthy, and some of the key ways we can stay healthy: putting healthy food into our bodies, getting proper sleep and rest, managing the amount of electronics that we're using, trying to not overload our brains with non-stop screen time, and then finally, keeping our bodies mobile so that we can have lots of blood flow through our bodies and oxygen flow. If we are too tight and we have stiff areas in our body, we're going to be limiting the blood flow and oxygen flow, and our whole system is going to be compromised. So there are 5 different stages to this mobility routine. Stage 1 are CARs, which stands for Controlled Articular Rotations. This is taking our joints through its full range of motion, and normally I would go a little bit slower, but I'm going a bit quicker for the purpose of this video. The first people that introduced me to CARs is the golf performance coaches and Jeff Overholt. We do this on a regular routine when training with them. So I'm focusing on specific joints in the body that apply to golf. I have wrists, scapula, shoulders, then we want neck, hips, and ankles. Essentially, in the golf swing, we need every other joint to be mobile and every other joint to be stable. For mobility, we're working on the mobile joints. So I've got hip CARs here, going forward and back. We need about 3 or 4 in each direction, either leg. The hip CARs also will help you to work on your balance should you do them standing. And then finally, ankles. What this does is it reminds your body of its full range of motion with these joints. Stage 2 is going to be foam rolling. I'm going to do some light foam rolling. The idea of this is to break down the coating around our muscles. That's called muscle fascia. I'm going to start with my back. We're going to roll along this foam roller, just loosening up the back, and then I'm going right into my lats, doing an angle foam roll. Other side. And then finally, we're going to foam roll the quads. The more stiff your foam roller, the more this hurts. And for the purpose of this routine, I've got a fairly soft foam roller. Stage 3 is some yoga stretching. I'm going to do a very basic yoga routine and making sure that I'm breathing throughout my entire body, sending oxygen to the entire body. So it's a very basic yoga routine. I'm going to touch my toes, get to flat back, back down to my toes. And when I'm doing the yoga routine, I'm going to have a little bit of movement throughout the stretches. So combining some of the CARs and some of the yoga. Come to down dog, stretching out the legs. And then the main thing that I'm trying to achieve here is to get a good stretch in my hips. This is an area where I have to be personally focused on to make sure that I can get the most power to my golf swing. So I'm going down low in the runner stretch. I'm going to lean back. And then I'm going from here right into pigeon. So we're going to get the outside of the leg and the hip, breathing into it. Other leg. So down in the runner stretch, up in the runner stretch, and then into pigeon. There are lots of stretches you could do. I'm focusing on the stretches that I think benefit myself the most in my routine. We only have so much time. We've got to key in to some important areas for each individual. Next is going to be 90-90. So I've got my legs in a 90-90 position, both at 90-degree angle, and I'm going to be twisting through this pose, leaning back, twisting through, leaning forward, and then the other way. All of those first three stages have set the stage for stage number 4, which is my lacrosse ball rolling. So this is the most important thing for me personally. If you have a tight body and you get your muscles feeling very, very stiff and sore, this could be your solution right here. It's a simple lacrosse ball, costs you about $3 in Canadian Tire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start at my hips. I'm going to lie on this and breathe deeply into the area where I feel the most pain. If it hurts, that's a good thing in this case. What I'm going to do is breathe into the pain will go away, and then I move the lacrosse ball up my back, focusing on all of the tight muscles. So let's get to it. It's going to be a little bit painful. I'll try not to wince. So it's going in my hip first. I'm going to lie on it. Breathe into that area. If the pain goes away, time to move it to a new area. I'm going to go on the side of my hip. And then start working up my back. So starting the low back first. And every day is going to be different with where the tight muscles are. So we just keep moving it until we find that spot that is the most stiff. Usually it starts to hurt a little more for me when I get into the upper back. I'm going to work all the way up around the shoulder blades. Oh. After I've done that, I want to go through a little stretch that I got from my trainer, Phil Toppin, which is going to really help with my mid-back. So I'm going to push the spine back, collapse the back, and bring the shoulder forward. Breathe into that stretch. Man, that feels. Stage 5 is for my mid-back or T-spine. This is the area that rotates in the golf swing. I've got my posture arch from Hansberger Physio. I'm going to lay down on this posture arch and take some deep breaths to try to get oxygen through my blood and into all of the muscles in the tight areas. So I'm going to lay back like this and just hang out here for a while. Thanks a lot for tuning into this video. If you need any help getting the resources or tools in order to create a mobility routine for yourself, just hit me up.